There is a truth that has been whispered through centuries, a truth so powerful that once it takes root in your heart, it transforms how you live, how you think, and even how you receive. The truth is this: the divine does not trickle blessings into your life, it commands abundance into existence. And when that command is heard, it does not delay, it does not hesitate. It brings forth what you need, and often more than you imagined, into your very hands. Money, opportunities, resources, they are not random accidents. They are responses to a divine order, a signal that says, now is the time. When we talk about the divine command, attracting huge sums of money into your hands in hours, the first key point we must expand on is the incredible power of words. Words are not just sounds, they are forces. Every time you speak, you release energy into the atmosphere. You set things in motion, whether you realize it or not. When you declare lack, when you constantly say you are broke, struggling, or that money is hard to come by, those words become instructions. They build a reality around you that matches the sound you have released. But when you stand firm and declare, the divine command attracts wealth into my hands now, you are not just making a wish, you are speaking in alignment with spiritual law. That alignment calls into action unseen forces that go to work on your behalf. It is as if the universe was waiting for you to open your mouth and grant it permission to bring resources your way. Faith-filled words carry the vibration of authority, and authority moves mountains, including financial ones. Think of how creation itself began. According to scripture and spiritual teachings, the world was not formed by bricks and mortar. It was spoken into existence. Let there be light, and there was light. If creation itself was set into place by a spoken word, how much more can your own life circumstances be shaped by the words you speak daily? Every declaration you make is a seed. Seeds may be invisible at first, but with consistency, they grow into tangible harvests. And here is the remarkable thing: money is energy too. It listens to direction. It gravitates toward those who call it with clarity and certainty. You are not begging money to come. You are commanding it in faith, and when you do so with conviction, it must respond. What stops most people is not the lack of opportunity, but the misuse of their words. They cancel blessings with negativity. They pray for abundance in the morning, but by afternoon they are already speaking defeat. Nothing ever works out for me. Those words slammed the door on the very opportunities that were moving in their direction. The divine command is constant, but your words must align with it to manifest. Imagine radio waves filling the air. You can't see them, but they're always present. The moment you tune your receiver, the signal becomes clear. In the same way, the divine command is always sending abundance your way, but your words are the tuning dial. Positive, faith-filled declarations align you with that signal and allow the flow of wealth to manifest into your experience. So when you say, the divine command attracts huge sums of money into my hands in hours, you are doing more than speaking. You are activating a spiritual law. You are planting seeds of abundance that grow quickly because they are rooted in authority. And the more consistent you are with your words, the faster and stronger the harvest becomes. This is why words are never to be treated casually. They are tools, they are weapons, they are keys, and when used with faith, they unlock doors to financial overflow that logic alone could never achieve. The second key point is the role of faith in allowing the divine command to manifest wealth into your life. Faith is not just a mental idea or a hopeful wish. It is the deep knowing that what you have spoken, what you have believed, is already yours even before it shows up in your hands. It is the invisible bridge between the divine command and the physical reality. Many people misunderstand faith as waiting for something to happen and then believing once it arrives. But true faith is the opposite. It believes first, speaks first, acts first, and then sees the evidence follow. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. When you operate from this level of belief, You create a magnetic pull that draws money, resources, and opportunities to you with speed. Faith requires you to close the gap between your desire and your expectation. If you desire wealth but constantly expect failure, then your faith is split, and the divine command cannot flow unobstructed. But when you align your expectation with the divine promise, everything begins to shift. This is why those who carry unshakable faith often experience sudden breakthroughs, because their inner conviction leaves no room for doubt. They speak as though it is already done, they act as though they already possess it, and in response, circumstances rearrange themselves to match that vibration. Faith is not passive, it is active, dynamic, and it sets invisible wheels into motion. Consider how electricity flows. The power is always present, but a switch must be flipped to allow the current to move through the wires and light up the room. The divine command is like the constant current of abundance that exists all around us, but faith is the switch. When you believe without wavering, when you trust that what you have spoken will come to pass, you flip that switch and allow wealth to rush into your life. Doubt, on the other hand, is like keeping the switch half off. The current is still there, but the flow is blocked, leaving you in darkness. To walk in faith is to keep the switch firmly on, no matter what your physical eyes see. Faith is also demonstrated in action. When you truly believe that money is coming into your hands by divine command, you begin to prepare for it. You speak differently, you make decisions with confidence, you step into opportunities that once intimidated you. That preparation itself is a signal of faith, and the universe responds to it. Imagine expecting an honored guest. You would prepare your home, set the table, and make space. In the same way, faith prepares the space for wealth before it arrives, and that preparation hastens its manifestation. Faith transforms waiting into receiving. It takes you out of the mindset of hoping someday and places you into the certainty of now. And when your faith is unwavering, the divine command does not take months or years to show results. It accelerates the process, moving huge sums of money into your hands in hours, because faith has already made the way clear. The third key point is the principle of alignment, the harmony between your inner world and the divine command that makes wealth flow with ease. Alignment means that your thoughts, emotions, words, and actions are not pulling in different directions, but are synchronized with the frequency of abundance. Too often, people desire money but live in contradiction to that desire. They pray for prosperity, yet dwell on fear of lack. They declare abundance, but secretly expect disappointment. They envision wealth, yet act as though poverty is their destiny. This misalignment scatters energy and blocks the flow of blessings. But when everything within you agrees, when your mind believes, your heart feels deserving, your words declare it, and your actions support it, then the divine command is free to deliver wealth without delay. Alignment is not something that happens by accident. It is cultivated intentionally. It begins with your thoughts. What you consistently think about sets the tone for everything else in your life. If your thoughts are dominated by scarcity, worry, and disbelief, then you are tuning yourself to a frequency that repels abundance. But if you train your mind to dwell on sufficiency, to see opportunities where others see obstacles, to expect provision even before it shows up, then your thoughts are aligned with the divine command. From thoughts, the alignment flows into emotions. You cannot carry bitterness, envy, or fear and still expect prosperity to feel safe in your presence. Money is energy, and like all energy, it seeks harmony. When your emotions radiate gratitude, joy, and expectation, you create a welcoming environment for wealth to arrive and multiply. Words are the next layer of alignment. They act as bridges between your inner beliefs and the outer world. When your words contradict your desires, you weaken the bridge. Saying you are broke while praying for abundance is like rowing in two directions at once. You go nowhere. But when your words echo your belief, when they match your expectation, they reinforce the alignment that accelerates manifestation. Speaking faith-filled declarations daily strengthens this bridge, creating a consistent vibration that wealth responds to. Finally, alignment manifests through action. You cannot declare abundance yet live as if poverty owns you. If you believe money is flowing into your life, you prepare for it, you act in confidence, you make choices as someone who trusts in provision rather than as someone enslaved by fear. Even small actions, like saving a portion, giving generously, or pursuing an idea with boldness, signal to the universe that you are aligned and ready. These actions are not about forcing results, but about embodying the identity of someone who already receives. When all these layers come together, thoughts, emotions, words, and actions, you become a magnet for divine provision. Alignment removes resistance and opens a clear path for the flow of money. The divine command does not struggle to find you when you are aligned. It rushes straight into your life, filling your hands with more than enough, often in ways and at speeds that defy logic. The fourth key point is the principle of expectation, the posture of the mind and heart that draws wealth into your life with remarkable speed. Expectation is more than hope. It is the unwavering confidence that what has been promised by the divine command is already on its way to you. When you expect something, you prepare for it, you look for it, you anticipate its arrival. Think about how a child waits for a long, promised gift. There is no doubt, only excitement and certainty. That same attitude of expectation is what opens the gates of abundance and allows huge sums of money to reach you, not in some distant future, but in ours. The divine command has already been spoken, but expectation is what positions you to receive it. Expectation carries a magnetic quality. When you expect lack, you subconsciously create circumstances that fulfill that expectation. You attract delays, setbacks, and disappointments because your inner stance is preparing for them. On the other hand, when you expect wealth, you naturally align your energy, your actions, and your words to welcome it. You begin to notice opportunities that were always there but hidden by your own disbelief. You respond to life with confidence, and confidence itself becomes a magnet for resources. Expectation creates a self-fulfilling momentum. What you look for, you find, and what you anticipate, you draw near. This principle is visible in everyday life. Consider how you act when you are expecting an important visitor. You clean your home, you make space, you prepare meals, and you stand ready to welcome them the moment they arrive. You don't sit in doubt wondering if they will come. You move as though their arrival is guaranteed. This is how expectation works with money. When you truly expect that the divine command is bringing abundance into your hands, you prepare your life for it. You begin to think like a steward rather than a struggler. You plan what you will do with the blessing. You take small but decisive steps in faith, not because you see it yet, but because you expect it without question. Expectation also eliminates desperation. When you are desperate, you radiate fear and push opportunities away. But when you expect, you are calm, steady, and certain. Money flows easily toward that kind of energy because it carries trust rather than panic. Expectation is not about forcing timing. It is about believing the timing is perfect. It trusts that hours are enough for the divine to orchestrate connections, release resources, and shift circumstances in your favor. Many people miss out on miracles because they expect too little or expect too slowly. They ask with hesitation rather than with certainty. But when you raise your expectation, when you live as though the blessing is inevitable, wealth has no choice but to show up swiftly. Expectation is faith in motion. It is the proof that you not only believe in the divine command, but also prepare for its manifestation. And when that expectation is unwavering, money flows into your life with a speed that surprises even you, because expectation has already made room for it to arrive. The fifth key point is gratitude, the spiritual magnet that not only attracts wealth but multiplies it in your life. Gratitude is more than saying thank you. It is a state of being that acknowledges abundance before it fully arrives. When you are grateful, you shift your focus away from what is missing and place it firmly on what is present, and in doing so, you amplify the flow of blessings. The divine command responds to gratitude because it is the language of faith. Gratitude says, "I already have it," even while it is still on the way. And when you live in that vibration, you draw money and opportunities into your hands with speed, because the universe cannot resist a grateful heart. Gratitude rewires how you see your circumstances. A person without gratitude can have much yet feel empty, while a grateful person can have little yet feel rich. This shift in perspective is powerful because it changes the energy you radiate. When you constantly complain about lack, you reinforce scarcity, and scarcity expands. But when you consistently give thanks, even for small provisions, you reinforce abundance, and abundance expands. The act of gratitude is like watering a seed. It accelerates growth. The more thankful you are for what you already have, the faster wealth and resources multiply in your experience. Gratitude also positions you to handle greater blessings. Imagine giving a gift to someone who responds with joy, appreciation, and care. You are inclined to give them more. But if someone receives your gift with indifference or entitlement, you hesitate to give again. In the same way, the divine flows more freely toward those who honor and appreciate what they already hold. Gratitude proves you are ready for more because you have valued what has already been given. This readiness creates a clear path for the divine command to move quickly, transferring huge sums of money into your hands, knowing you will not take it for granted. Another powerful dimension of gratitude is that it draws your attention to opportunities hidden in plain sight. When you are thankful, your mind becomes alert and open, able to see possibilities that others overlook. Gratitude sharpens intuition and raises awareness, and in doing so, it leads you to the right people, the right ideas, and the right timing that bring wealth swiftly into your life. Where others see closed doors, a grateful person sees windows of opportunity. This shift alone can cause sudden financial breakthroughs because gratitude tunes you into the frequency of abundance that is already present. Most importantly, gratitude keeps your heart light and free from the heaviness of worry. Worry clogs the flow of blessings, but gratitude clears the channel. When you choose to be thankful even before the manifestation, you declare your trust in the divine command. That trust accelerates the process, causing money to appear in hours rather than in distant time frames. Gratitude is not passive. It is an active force, a powerful attractor that makes wealth rush toward you. It is the open hand that says, "I am ready," and the divine never leaves such a hand empty. The sixth key point is circulation, the principle that money is meant to flow and not stagnate, and that giving and receiving are two sides of the same divine command. Wealth is not a reservoir to be hoarded, but a river that gains power by moving. When you hold too tightly, out of fear or greed, you interrupt the natural cycle of circulation, and what was meant to multiply becomes stuck. But when you allow money to flow through your hands, by giving generously, by investing wisely, by using it as a tool to uplift yourself and others, you activate a law that ensures more must return to you. Circulation is the guarantee that the more you release in faith, the more the divine command replenishes you, often in greater measure and surprising ways. Think of nature itself. The ocean does not cling to its waves, the trees do not hoard their leaves, and the clouds do not keep their rain. Everything in creation operates on the principle of circulation. Water evaporates, forms clouds, falls as rain, and flows back into rivers, only to repeat the cycle. Money works in the same way. When you give, you are not losing, you are releasing it into circulation, setting it on a path that will inevitably bring it back to you multiplied. The person who understands this principle never fears lack, because they know every act of giving plants a seed for future receiving. Circulation also keeps your relationship with money healthy. If you cling to it in desperation, you attach fear to your wealth, and fear attracts loss. But when you treat money as energy meant to be moved, you stay in harmony with abundance. This does not mean being careless or reckless. It means being willing to let money flow where it creates value, knowing that the divine command ensures it will return. Generosity is one of the clearest demonstrations of trust in this law. When you give from a place of gratitude and faith, you prove to the universe that you believe in endless supply. That belief triggers the return flow, often faster and in amounts greater than what was released. Many sudden financial breakthroughs are born from this principle. Countless people can testify to moments when they gave in faith, sometimes their last seed, and within hours or days, unexpected money, opportunities, or solutions appeared. This is not coincidence, it is circulation. The act of giving opens a channel that allows the divine command to push wealth back into your life with speed. Holding tightly out of fear closes that channel, but releasing in faith widens it. Circulation transforms money into a servant rather than a master. It becomes a tool to bless, to build, to uplift. And as you let it flow, you realize you are never truly without, because what you give out in faith cannot fail to return. The divine command honors circulation, and when you live by it, huge sums of money are not only attracted to your hands, but are constantly replenished, keeping you in an endless rhythm of abundance.